Hey everyone, it's Dragon Rider, and this has just been announced, Hearthstone's next mini set, which is the Fall of Ulduar mini set. So kind of based all around Yogg-Saron and the chaos that he brings. This is really interesting, but let's get into kind of the details about the mini set itself before we jump into cards. So it will be launching in 1 week from today, which will be Tuesday, September 19th. Of course, as all the mini sets do, or have been, it will have 38 cards, 4 legendaries, 1 epic, 17 rares, and 16 commons. So you can open these in Titans packs, which was the most recent set. Or you can get the full kind of collection of these mini set cards for either $15 or 2,000 gold. Or if you want the all golden version, $69.99 or 10,000 gold. But I imagine most people probably just going to get that regular version. Now let's talk about the most interesting thing about this mini set, which is this Anomalies. Anomalies have been part of Battlegrounds for the last little while, but they are coming to Standard, Wild, Twist, and Arena. So they're coming to these constructed formats, or as Arena, the kind of draft format. So let's take a look at this first card. One of the 4 legendaries is Cho'Gall. This is a very well-known character in World of Warcraft, of course, but he is a neutral legendary, 6 mana, 6/7, with Taunt and Lifesteal. And then at the start of game, there's a 25% chance to corrupt the game with a random anomaly. So very similar to Battlegrounds. The anomalies at launch, there's going to be 20 anomalies possible, all with an equal chance. So there's not going to be any that are more rare than others. They all have an equal chance. They do show 3 of them here. The first one, Approaching Nightmare, has both players start with Yogg-Saron Hope's End in their hand, so leading to potentially some chaos later in the game. Gift of Gluttony, both players start with 2 more drawn cards, so could be a strategy if you're a deck that wants to draw cards. And Fast Track, reduce the cost of all cards in both players' starting hands by 1. It does mention that these anomalies are revealed prior to doing your mulligan, but they won't activate until after the mulligan. So for example, with that reducing the cost, you will see that before you get to decide which cards you keep or don't keep in your mulligan. And then after your mulligan happens and you have your actual starting hand, then that discount on all of the cards in hand will apply for both players. Now, it does mention that for all games for the first week after the launch of patch 27.4, that anomalies will be active in all games. So patch 27.4 should be the patch next Tuesday on September 19th when this mini set launches. So for a full week from Tuesday the 19th through that next Tuesday, all games will have anomalies in the game. After that 1 week period, anomalies will be active in 25% of games all the way until patch 28.0. Now 28.0, or those full rounded numbers, is when the next expansion will come out. So all the way until the next expansion launches, we will have this in the game. And it does also say that if you or your opponent or both of you have Cho'Gall in your deck during this time period, there is also a chance that your game will be corrupted by 2 anomalies at once. Lots of anomalies possible over the next 2.5 months. If you are someone who likes that kind of chaos, that different aspect, the different playstyles, then this definitely is for you. For people who are not fans of the RNG or getting to choose those kind of things, they're probably not going to enjoy this as much, but it'll definitely be interesting to see what kinds of other anomalies are added. As it says, there's 20 that will be upon launch. It only shows 3 here to start. The really kind of interesting thing to me is that this is quite different than Battlegrounds, where for Battlegrounds, you can kind of see what the anomaly is, and then you, in a way, get to build your strategies off of the anomaly. But this is going to be kind of reverse for these other constructed modes, where you're going to have to bring your constructed deck that already has its own kind of strategy and game plan, and then you may get an anomaly that changes that or has some sort of impact. So I'd imagine that the anomalies that they have here for these constructed modes, kind of like these ones that we see, are going to be a bit different than the one in Battlegrounds, just because of that kind of difference in the strategies and how the kind of whole game plays out in terms of whether you build after you get to see the anomaly or if you bring in a deck before the anomalies are revealed. Definitely want to see what other anomalies there are, but there are some more cards that were revealed, so let's look at those. This next one here is a Chaotic Tendril. Now, it does mention that this is a card in the mini set, and that there's more ways to generate more Chaotic Tendrils. It is a battle cry that casts a random 1-cost spell, and it improves your future Chaotic Tendrils. So the more tendrils you play, it will change from 1-cost spell to 2-cost spell to 3-cost, and you can build it up the more tendrils you play. So very kind of interesting there. I'm not sure how popular something like this is going to be in standard, at least. Really depends on how much kind of tendril support that there is and how many of these you can end up playing. The random spell being played as well, also kind of interesting. Some players might not like that. I'm not expecting to see a ton of like Chaotic Tendril decks, but I'm sure that people will definitely be trying them out, especially once this mini set first launches. Now, they do also state that there will be more reveals throughout this next week, leading up to the launch next week for September 19th, but they did show 3 Hunter cards, so let's take a look at these. We have Twisted Frostwing. It's a 4-mana 3/3 beast with Rush, and Death Rattle, summon a Chimera with stats equal to this minion's attack. You can get this out on the board and then potentially buff it up before that Death Rattle triggers. Also kind of interesting, because this has Rush and a Death Rattle, there is potential to rush into something with equal stats or larger than this Twisted Frostwing and actually kill it the same turn you play it. I don't think the Chimera is going to have Rush or anything like that. It will just be a body, but I'd imagine it's also a beast. Then the next one, Bestial Madness, is a 2-mana shadow spell. Give +1 attack to all minions in your hand, deck, and battlefield. That is pretty good. Being able to give that attack no matter where the minions are is pretty fantastic. And for only 2, not bad at all. It only gives attack, doesn't give added health, but I still think that this could be pretty valuable in some of the Hunter decks. And the last Hunter card that's revealed, Celestial Shot, is a 3-mana arcane spell that says deal 3 damage. Your next spell has spell damage +2. Now, out of the 3 revealed, I think this is absolutely the best one of the 3. This is damage that you can send to a minion or to your opponent's face, because you can target that damage wherever you want. It's also an arcane spell, which works in the already established archetype of Arcane Hunter, and it also gives spell damage to your next spell. So this seems like it is definitely doing a lot for the kind of Arcane Hunter archetype, which after some recent nerfs, Hunter kind of has gone down in win rate and play rate. But I think that this card here, Celestial Shot, certainly can help bring that archetype back a little bit more. So that is the information we have so far about this next mini set. What do you think of the theme and anomalies coming into all of these other modes outside of Battlegrounds? Are you looking forward to that? Are you not excited for anomalies? What do you think you might see in some of these cards? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you for checking this out, and I'll see you in the next one.